Hello everyone, it's Lindsay and I'm back with another Faith Planner process video for you guys. And today I'm working with the new Beloved Society printable from Illustrated Faith. This is Crossroads. I've already gone ahead and printed it out on cardstock and cut it apart so it's all ready to go. And I'm going to start by cutting out the pages from my planner. So you can see here I'm just taking a pair of scissors and cutting down the center of the coil, and that way I can pull these pages out. This is something I do almost every single week, and it just makes it easier to work on the pages when they're not in my planner. And today we're going to be doing some layering with the die cuts and some stamps. So this is a great way to add some interest to your layers without a lot of bulk is by adding some stamp textures. But before we get into that, I am going to cover up this pattern up at the top of the page because it doesn't really match the printables. Washi tape is a quick and easy way to cover up that pattern, especially this fabric washi. This is a little bit harder to find. I usually find it at Michael's, and it's a little more opaque, and so it covers things up. It is kind of stretchy, so you kind of have to be careful when you're working with it, but these two here went really well with the colors in the kit. And can I just say, this kit is giving me all the fall vibes, and I am ready for it not to be 100 degrees because I live in Central California, so it's kind of fun to play with some fall colors. The tape did cover up one of those holes, so I just brush my EK Success powder tool over the stickiness, and that takes the stickiness away, and then I can re-punch that hole and re-cut a little snip into it, and then it's ready to go back into my planner. And now we can kind of start assembling these little die cuts. So these are always super cute kits. I want to use all of the die cuts when I use her Beloved Society kits. And I have this stamp set here. This one is Sketched Holiday from Brutus Monroe, a sweet, sweet follower of mine, Lashana. She has sent me several Happy Meal packages chock full of all kinds of fun crafty goodness, and one of her Happy Meal packages had this stamp set in it. And so this is actually a Christmas stamp set, but it had this pine cone and this foliage that went perfect with this devotional kit. So I'm going to use that to layer up behind my die cuts. And for inks, I'm going to be inking these up with my big brush markers. So I'm using, this one here is Nugget 178. I'm going to use Sanguine number 188 and Cobalt Green 156. And these are great for inking up your stamps. You will see me several times rub the stamp on the back of my hand. I get a lot of questions about that. I know it's gross, but what I'm doing is I'm kind of dirtying up the stamp. And so the ink sticks to the stamp better. It gets better coverage. It doesn't just bead up on the surface of the stamp, especially since this is a new stamp set I've never used before, and it just get better impressions with the markers. Now you won't get perfect impressions stamping with these markers, but I kind of like that fun grungy texture that you get. And you can see it's just pretty quick. This goes along, you know, it doesn't take too long to stamp these out. I have several stamps loaded up on one block on either side of the block, so I can just go through and quickly color it in and stamp it on. And as long as you clean these pretty quickly, the ink might stain the stamp, but it doesn't, you know, stay on there. It's pretty easy to wipe off and easy to work with. So I'm just kind of layering those up, and then I decided to go ahead and pull out the Gratitude Documented stamp set from Illustrated Faith from last year. This is still available, and this little tree stump has found its way back into my heart this year. I've been using it like crazy this week, and it was perfect to go along with the kind of woodsy feel of this devotional kit. So now I'm just going to speed this up and start layering everything on. So I've had some questions about my planner and what I do with it, and especially when I do something like a spread like this. My planner is for daily scripture writing, but when I use one of these devotional kits, I still do daily scripture writing, but this is just a convenient place to have the devotionals stored, especially these short little devotionals, and I can take notes and things on the back of the devotional content. So essentially I'm doing two different projects in 1 week in my planner here. So just to kind of clarify what's going on with that. And this particular devotional this week is talking about exercise. There's this imagery of running and how we should be walking with God and resting in God and using Him as a guide when we come to crossroads and things like that. And so it was really good devotional and super timely, because when you were watching this on Sunday, I'm actually on my way home from the Bay Area. My sister and I are doing a color run on Saturday, and so it's the first time I've ever done anything like that. We are not runners, so we decided to do something fun like the color run first, and so I'm sure there'll be plenty of pictures for me to document in my traveler's notebook when I get back. But when I went and sat down and read this devotional, I thought, how perfect, because I was actually prepping this video the day before I'm leaving for that run. That way it could be up for you guys. So it's kind of funny how God works like that. And so I would encourage you to pick up this devotional. These short devotionals are really easy to work through, and the Beloved Society printables are just gorgeous. So what you saw me do at the top there was there was this piece with this typed out quote, or I think it's a quote, and I cut it apart into strips, which is something you may have seen me do in my journaling for my traveler's notebooks. And so it just kind of gives a fun look to that printable, breaks it up, and you don't want to just cut out printables and stick them on the page. I mean, you can do that, and it's a simple way to use them, but you want to kind of dress them up, add some ink to them, add some stamping, and it just kind of takes them to that next level. So it doesn't just look like you've got, cardstock pictures taped on the page. This stamping is a super simple way to add some interest to those printables, dress them up, make them your own, and kind of have fun with them, and it doesn't take very long to do. So when I do these little clusters, it's just all about layering things up. I kind of try things out, and I'm trying to keep them in places where I can still write out my daily scriptures on this planner. So the pages look a little bare and naked when I do these videos, but by the end of the week, it's all filled in with writing. Now that cluster in the top left-hand corner, I probably should have scoot over a little bit more, because I am going to adhere down the devotional content directly onto this page, but that's okay. My planners don't need to be perfect. This is where I kind of feel out ideas and play with things, and so there's oopses sometimes, and I'm about to make another oops. So I have both the devotionals stacked on top of each other, and I'm creating like a little mini book right on the page, and here's where I realized I had page 1 and page 2 reversed. So I ended up adding a little bit more washi tape than I normally would add when doing this, but that's okay. It's a little bit more bulky, but no problem. I just want to make sure that all the edges are adhered down so that this doesn't fall out of my planner. And now I've got that devotional secured to my planner. I can work on it directly on the back side of the devotional cards, and I can take it into my Bible journaling if I want to. But this is just a convenient way to keep track of those little mini devotionals without having a whole separate traveler's notebook or mini book or system or something like that. They're just right there in my faith planner where I work on a daily basis already. I'll go ahead and add the little tabs from the kit just so that I realize that it's 2 pages and can flip it over there. I thought about repositioning that adhesive or that washi tape, but nope, it was pulling up the paper. And now I can go ahead and just push the pages back into my planner, and they are very well secured. I have never had a page accidentally fall out. I don't pull them out several times. I'm pretty careful with it, but it's not been an issue. And that is it for the spread today. So you can kind of see how I can work through that, have room to write my verses like you can see there. I didn't have any real terrible bleed through from the brush markers. And that is it. So if you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave those down in the comments. I'll answer them once I'm back into town. Check out the description box for links to all the products used today. And give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. And until next time, thank you so much. Bye-bye.